Hello, my lovely spectators. Dee Dee here. Welcome to my studio. So, it's been a minute, and I do want to say thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing to my channel. And I am astounded that inside of a month, I've already gained almost 100 subscribers. And so, thank you, thank you, thank you. To mimic what Patricia does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She is also the inspiration. She had this on her channel. She was actually showing it as something that she found off of another creators, and I thought it was cute and clever and a nice little idea. I've been out crafting and scrapbooking and etc outside of the house, and so this made me think of, this would be perfect as also like a take along if you are going to be working on making a journal at, like, say, a 2-day crop or something. So I have all the supplies that I need, that I think I need, because this is going to be my version of it. I watched the video, I saw what she made, I'm winging it. So I'm going to see if I can do 3 of them in 30 minutes. So I'm going to set my little clock for 30 minutes. Basically what we're gonna need is I'm gonna use, okay, I surpassed where I was supposed to. We're gonna use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. This is a little bit of like a, I don't know, 65 weight as a base. We're gonna have some printables that I got from Etsy, from, what is it? This is the shop, right there. Right there, Liana Scrap. Very inexpensive. I was in there looking for something else, and then I remembered that I wanted to do this for you guys. So yeah, so that was that. There's a few things there that I'm going to use to reinforce and make the cover a little bit heavier, or just to decorate the cover, right? And then I have some double-sided tape. I do have some hardware. I'm gonna finally dug up my grommets. I have these things which I'm thinking hopefully will work the way that I think that they're gonna work at the length that they are. So they're elastic. I don't know if you've seen them on folders and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that they're gonna work. If not, I can make a little knot at the ends. I'll figure it out. For the closure, so I have my little crocodile, but it's a Recollections brand, so same difference. And yeah, that's it. Some scissors to cut some of the little cards out. Even though I have my trimmer, I'm gonna probably use my trimmer on this, definitely on that. Also, I found this scrap. I have some inking, possibly. Let's see how much time we have. I found this at my thrift. So I was thinking of doing a video like would Margaret buy that? Because we all watch her vintage hauls. We know we do. We sit there and we go ooh and ah and marvel at the prices. A lot of the times for anybody like overseas, because like here in New York, yeah, I'm not finding anything for $1. This fabric seems rather vintagey to me, and it is kind of like a double-sided. And so I took this so that way, you know, out of my stash, because I had purchased this even before planning to do this video. So I'm gonna need to cut a piece of this. I have no idea what that means, but I'm gonna cut a piece of this to utilize. Ooh, sticky, won't be using that side. Well, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this was $1.29 at the local Savers, which is one of the thrift stores. They're more commercialized here. I found a few little ones out on Long Island that are not like affiliated. Like the Salvation Army is one we all know. Kind of dicey around where and nothing that I would want. Like the books were terrible, no stationery. No, not my jam. Savers has been my go-to, and American Thrift. And so anyway, let me get to the craft, because you didn't come here to have me complaining about where I don't get to shop. So we're going to start the timer. So hopefully, let me see, where am I going to put this so that it could stay? I think it's in frame. Is it in frame? Hopefully it's in frame. Is it in frame? I don't know. I can't tell. Hopefully it's in frame, but it's going to ring. So I'm going to start it. because I put it at 31, so I have a few more minutes. So we're going to cut this into 4 pieces. So 12 by 12, that means we're cutting into 6 by 6 pieces. So let me take out the scorer because we're going to need that, but not right now. So I'm going to cut this into 6 by 6. I'm going to cut it into 4. I know that I'm only, 3 is, hashtag JJ 3 under 30. Forgot to say that. But, yeah, so, but I'm going to have the 6 squares. So let's see, whether or not that's going to be a thing. Then I'm going to score each one at 3.5. Put a little score in there because we are going to make kind of a booklet. Okay, so what she made was from, I wish I had remembered. I'm going to see what I could copy and paste into my description box down below. But yeah, so what she made was like something to hold needles, right? So if you're, a junk journal and you make your own journals, you probably do the sewing. Right now, I'm really digging not the sewing, but the elastic closure, because it's just so much more simple, I think, to do that. All right, so we're going to be making little booklets like this, right? So let's just fold them up. So we know that there are 6 across and there's 6 high. I'm going to need some decoration for the outside, which is where these sheets are going to come up in a minute. And then I'm also going to need the fabric for the inside. Now I can't cut the fabric with this, so I'm going to have to do that in a minute. But I can cut the panels to have them cut to be added later. So I want a panel that is going to fit on this side, and another panel to maybe fit on this side. Not sure. And inside the fabric is going to go, so I don't think I'm going to put anything on there because the fabric is going to be covering most of it. So I just need to cut some panels. So I don't think these cards necessarily are small enough, and they're short. So I'm going to see if I could finagle, cutting it wherever, and if I can get 2, 4, 6, possibly 8, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them at 2 and 3/4. So the side is 2 and 7/8. Let's try that. So 2 and 7/8, and I'm using the scoring blade. This is why I don't like this trimmer. Everything else is awesome. I love this, how it pops back up by itself. And but the whole thing of having to take this guy out, ugh, so annoying. All right, here we go again. So we've got 2 pieces there, another one here. Now I know that I'm cutting in between a lot of the decoration of it all, right? And this one is really short. It's so, and maybe I should have thought about that, but that's all I could do right there. Let's get another one. 2 and 7/8. Another. Let me go on this side so that I can get more of the picture instead of this. 2 and 7/8 approximately. Another 2 and 7/8, right? Yeah. Okay. And this will be the other skinny piece. We're just going to throw it over there. So we've got these guys, and we've got these. And I picked these because they have that sewing vibe, which is what this is going to be for. So now I need to cut them down to just under 6. So this is where I can look at this and say, okay, 6. I'll get that part. Yes, so let me make it 5 and 7/8. So I have 1 front. And we're going to just keep that for reference, no, for scraps. Again, 5 and 7/8, right? Because that part is nicer. Over here, I got to decide, do I want this, or do I want more of that? I think I want that. I'll get most of this, and this won't get damaged, too much. I'll have a decent picture there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. 5 and 7/8. Okay, and we'll just put these lesser sewing, but kind of sewing adjacent in the backs. And here's another one. Again, I think I'm gonna turn this one around, get rid of most of this empty top. keep more interesting stuff here. And this is 5 7/8. And then the same thing here. Okay, so this one I'm going to split the difference because I was going to cut into here. If I turn it around, I'm still cutting into that quite a bit. And this has some lace down there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it over here as close as I can. We'll still keep that. And then we'll just cut off whatever it is that I need to cut off down here, which is just a smidgen. Okay, so now we have 6 pieces for the 6. So we're not going to do an extra one. We're not doing a bonus one. We're going to just get the 6 done. Okay, so these guys are going to get affixed in a minute to the front and the back. Okay, I don't need this anymore because I cannot cut the fabric with that. Okay, and so let's just recap because I like to make sure. We have a 6 by 6 square, right? So 4 to 10 is 6 inches, 12 to 6 is 6 inches, and then we're going to have one in the back with the slightest little sliver of a border and something that will kind of go ish, right, with it. So I think, okay, I think I'm going to actually wind up putting these 2 together. So this will be the front and this will be the back, right? So this did come off of one. So I'm going to have that as one. And remember that they're 1/8 of an inch smaller. With this one here, I think I'm going to do, this is the front. And I'm going to do, this is the back. And that'll be that one there. And then this one, I think I'm going to do, this is the front and that is the back. Okay, so again, 6 by 6. We need them to be 5 7/8. And then each panel, because it needs to fit in the 3, needs to be 2 7/8. So 2 7/8, 2 7/8. We need 6 of those that coordinate back and front. Okay, it'll give some stability, some rigidity. This, even though this cardstock I think is 65 pounds, it's just General Michaels cardstock. Okay, we'll ink that. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to cut fabric that's going to fit in here as well. So I'm gonna, and it doesn't need to be gigantic like this, so I might take it in a little bit more, like an inch. So I need to just kind of pick a corner, any corner. Let me get my pinking shears so that I could do it proper. And yeah, so let's see. I know that I need to have something, probably 5 by 5 would be good. So I want to mark 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me mark that with something. With a something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna cut here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna cut here, and we're gonna try to be as straight as possible. Okay. I actually have, I don't know, but did I want to do it with no, I want a pinking shears. Okay, you know what? Let me just let me try to get this up there straightish. Okay, hopefully this is not going to widen. I'll check it in a minute. Okay, so let's see here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it did get wider. 5. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. Okay, so here's our 5. And then here's the 5 here to here. Let me make sure. Listen, and we don't want to do it wrong. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, not really, because it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be in there. It's gonna move a little bit, so I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. So let's cut this out on the line as best as we can. Okay, and I know that I need to cut 3 of them, so might as well let's just continue up, approximate with that. So I'm gonna just approximate with that. That's gonna be a second one approximately, and then a third one like that. All right, so we are playing with fabric. This is the first fabric thing that I'm making. I was considering doing another projects where I just covered some journals and showed you that process, because you know, I feel like I want my things to be kind of educational. Not that anybody else isn't educational, just, you know, I wanted to, you know, I felt that way. I think that's the teacher in me that was wanting to do that. Also, some of the comments about we all decorate in our own way kind of, you know, threw me off in the beginning, because not everybody's aesthetic's the same, and I can understand that. But so I figured I'd take my time on the projects, making them as interesting as possible. So let's cut off this little bit here. All right, that's a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit. And then we all cut down this one to just have it all be pinked out, so to say. Okay. I have gotten a sewing machine too to do some journal sewing once I get my space, because you know, my studio is wherever my cutting board can lay down, and so right now that's here. Okay, so my whole summer has been enjoying doing different creative endeavors, joining different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 challenges, etc. And basically, you know, putting my brain to the test in terms of, you know, can I come up with something interesting? Can I put a twist on it, etc. So it's been good. It's been good. Okay, so I have, this guy looks a little bit long, so just because, and I feel like it is, so I don't want to mess with it being too long. It could be shorter, because remember, we're just putting needles in here, and I'll demonstrate with these guys later. So this fabric kind of feels like it's two-sided. It's got this side, which is this brown, and then it's got this side here, which is this reddish orange. I kind of like this side better, so I probably will focus on putting that side on the outside. Okay, so now that this is cut, let's just attach these guys to the bases. Okay, so I want to kind of have a full thing out. So my thing is like, okay, you can take a little bit of whatever you need, right? You'll have your needles with you. You wrap some string around this itself, and then you're good to go. You know, you can take it with you, and you can do your binding once you are done with your project. I mean, you might have larger binding kits, and then, you know, you don't want to take the whole thing, or this could just be in that kit, and it just holds your needles because it's something cute that you created yourself specifically for your needles. Okay, I guess the biggest obstacle would be actually using it and not forgetting that it exists, and forgetting to put the needles and stuff inside it, because that's, you know, what it's for, right? If we don't use it and we don't put things away, we don't know where they are, we lose them, we buy them 6 times over, and yeah, that becomes, you know, a very real, but, you know, sad and funny habit at the same time, because, you know, we always have a duplicate someplace. That's how I feel anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm always getting things 2 times, 3 times over. Okay, so we are going to attach this really quickly with some wet glue. Okay, I've been trying to finish up one of my glues. I think I'm gonna just use not wet glue. What is it called? What's that called? I can't think. The brain fog. Oof. I gotta change this guy. He's shedding. Oh wow. Sorry guys. My glue gun. No, not glue gun. Glue stick. My glue stick. I'm just gonna use the glue stick. I'm not gonna get fancy. Not gonna get fancy. I want to ink the outside edges on both sides. And again, I know that I did prep earlier in some other videos, and I prepped a lot of stuff ahead of time. And then I've been watching people's videos because, you know, you want to see what everybody else is out there doing. And, you know, some of them are like, oh, you know, they are calling it cheating. Listen, I don't know if they were serious or not. It's cheating. Is it? I don't think so. I mean, like the first few that, you know, each of us are doing, right? We're rushing to handle the 30 minutes. We're all stressed out. But in the long run, don't you want to see something being made or learn how to make something and get it fully and completely? Even if it doesn't get decorated, or even if you only get one done completely. I don't know. I think that that's important. So, I mean, tell me down below, guys, in the comments. Do you prefer to at least learn a project or get a full inspiration? Or do you want those 30 projects to be done lickety-split inside of, you know, the 30 minutes? Okay, where's the other one? Where's the third one? Okay, I think he's underneath stuff over there, so I'm going to grab this one over here. Right? And so, yes, I know everybody's like, what? I'm not going to ink on camera because you all know how to do that. And that's true. But this is the process. So this is what needs to be done for it to be aesthetically the way that, you know, I want to use it. And since I have 3, potentially 4, because I do have another piece of 6x6, you know, I'm gonna have one in my desk, and I can have one in my travel bag, that, you know, my to-go crop bag, and maybe I can, you know, gift one to somebody in Happy Meal. Because if you think about it, you could put some strings, some emery floss in here, whatever. You could put a couple of needles, and then you could put this in an envelope and mail it to somebody, right? So I'm not going to oh no, I need to do the inside too. I feel like it's naked. Okay, if I have 10 minutes to do the inside, I guess I'll be okay. We're gonna fingers cross it. Okay, so let's just brush this one, just a little bit of color. Okay, because we're gonna use the glue stick, and that's gonna be fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach the fabric to the inside. I want to attach it in such a way that it is secure, right? But that it has a little bit of give, because you want to be able to put the needles, etc., you know, inside the fabric in an easy way. So I saw the video, I watched it, I kind of blinked, fell asleep, whatever in between, and, you know, I saw in essence what she had created. And I was like, oh, that's clever. I mean, it looks simple enough, I thought to myself. So this is why I'm giving it a go. Okay. Now, I don't recall how she attached her fabric to the inside, but I know what I want to do. So I'm going to do my interpretation in a second, which is I'm going to attach using some double-sided tape and eyelets. I'm going to use some eyelets too. That's the outside, that's the outside, and that's the outside. Okay, so let's put these bad boys together. So this one was going here. Right now, I don't have a glue page. I need a glue page, but I'll just use the piece itself as its own glue page, because, you know, why not? All right, so this guy is gonna go here on the bottom. We're gonna get that nice little edge. Okay, okay. And now this one goes with that, so we're gonna get this one again, use it as its own glue page, because it's just a little bit, you know. All right, then we're going to put that here, because this is cardstock. I feel comfortable enough to use the glue stick. But while I do the other ones, I want to stick it under here. Let's do the next one. The next 2, I believe, were these 2. Yes. So we're going to again use this as its own glue page. Get that fixed down and centered. I usually like a bigger margin, but I felt like, I don't know, I wanted to see and try my hand at making a smaller margin in a mat. Because I think a bigger margin for me is like more for me as a card maker, scrapbooker, junk journaler, person who wants to try and do everything. A bigger mat for me is for cards. You know, when you have the photos, you really want to have that on the scrapbook pages. But for junk journaling, I feel like having too much of a mat, again, this is just a me thing, it doesn't feel junk journal. If that makes sense or not, I don't know. In my brain it does, but yeah. All right, so let's get this guy down and then we can prep up the fabric. Okay, one more. Okay, so the fabric is going to get initially prepped down with some double-sided tape to hold it down, and then one of the sides I'm going to secure it even further with eyelet, and then the eyelet is going to help to be the enclosed to create the closure. The words that have become such commonplace vernacular for me is like astounding with being into junk journaling now. So I put them all underneath here, and let's take these guys now. And since we have a 6x6, why not look at this? I'm going to attach it here. So is it perfectly da-da-da? No, but that's fine. So what I want to do is I want to put a couple of pieces of double-sided tape. Okay. And I just wanted to hold while I'm trying to do the other things. So let's see if this is going to work for me. And then I'll put one here. That will be part of the center. And then another long one over here. Okay, so that's the prep there. This one, let's see. Let's put this one like that. And again, we're going to put a double-sided tape over here. Pressing it down, burnishing it down very nicely in the center, just a little bit, because I want it to have a little bit of movement, and I'm hoping that that's going to accomplish what I want. Okay, and then the final one here, like this. Okay, and we're going to put a piece here. Okay. And a little piece in the center, and then another piece over here so that it doesn't flap. Okay, so those are prepped. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is take out my eyelets. I'm going to use these guys here. All right, so they are like a I don't know, brownish color. I'm gonna need 6 of them. So let's see, 2, 4, 6. Okay, good and good. 2, 4, 6. All right, and I'm gonna need 3 of these guys. So I had 4, but I'll put this one to the side, and I'm gonna need this. All right, so let me get one of these guys from the bottom. Let's take out the first one, which was this one. So fold it up like this. Looks good. We're going to take one of our fabrics. We're going to take off the white. Oh, come on. Right there. 1, 2. 2. Come on. 3. And then I'm going to place this more or less in the center right here. This side I want to kind of keep it straight so that when I hole punch it, it's going to be able to be in the original, in a nice place. And we're going to have it like this, right? Let's do the other one. So we're doing assembly line like that. So let's take another one here. Okay, again. And no, I have like no nails. My nails are atrocious. And I can't, oh, there you go. And then I'm like, I'm not even sure if I'm grabbing it. There you go. Okay. We're going to put that again, because this is my front side. I kind of want this side to be the main whatever. We're going to put that down, and then we're gonna have our final one. That's the top. Okay, like that. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do this. I gotta remember how far down I am, guys, and I do apologize that I seem to, you know, come this way, because, you know, I am working on a desk in my living room for now. Okay, all right, so this is the inside, and this will be what we can do. We can do the closures, and you can add an additional well, the closure is going to be that thing, so we're going to see how that works. I'm going to cross my fingers that it's going to work. So I want to put holes on the front that I reach this one, right? So I'm looking for the smaller hole, which is this guy. I'm going to set so that it doesn't go in too far. Let's see how that looks, right? Nope, I need to go further. Let's see if the whole way was good. No, that's too far. All right, let's try there. Now that it's set, I can't tell you how far it was, but I'm gonna go in this far, and I'm gonna punch a hole. Okay. The fabric, I'll clean that up in a minute, and then I'm gonna try and punch a hole more or less the same distance away from the edge. Okay, and yeah, so the fabric is very it's not a cotton. There's embroidery. It's like almost embroidered, like a, you know, almost like upholstery kind of whatever fabric. So that is why it's not going in as nicely. Let's just do this guy right away so we can have one done, and we can then finish up the other ones. Okay, so I'm gonna push this through the hole and make sure that it passes the fabric, right? Okay, and now we're going to go and put it in here, and we're going to crunch it down. Okay. All right, it's not getting it as great as I want. I might need to adjust the pressure or check this thing because it's not. Okay, trying to get it in here. The fabric I may need a longer neck, or whatever they call that part. Okay, I'm gonna put that on the other side, and I'm going to squish it down. Okay, is it staying? Yeah, staying. Okay, so that's it. So now this will hold the fabric so that it won't flap anywhere, and let's see if this works with these guys. So with these guys, you pop them into the hole of the eyelet, right? And the back will hold it. And I pop it on this side. And I think it is a little bit too long, but you know what? We'll make a knot, we'll adjust. Let's do that. So it's like that. And then my idea is that it goes like this, right? So it's a little too long. Not a problem. We can do a couple of things. We can be cheeky and do this and say that's what we planned all along for the closure. And I'm not mad at that at all, right? It's not, you know, it's not the prettiest, but it's not bad. You know what I'm saying? Or we can loop it up, tie it a knot, and then cut it off, or split it and put a dangle. There's options. Let's do another one because you know what? I'm gonna get these done in the next 2 minutes. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay, we're gonna put a hole here. I wonder if I go the other way, what would happen? If that would make a difference with the hole. All right. The fabric came out this way, okay. And let's do that over here. Okay. The other thing I was thinking was that if I was to put the holes closer together, then they would create more tension across the card. So that might be something to try, but I don't know. So again, yeah, these guys are a little too small, I think, for what I'm trying to do here. Well, we're going to smash them in. I would probably switch them out for maybe other eyelets. I feel like this is not really pressing down at all, anything. It's so weird, right? But it's set, so Interesante. Interesante. Okay. Oh no. Let's go. Okay, and we're going to get that. Oh, it fell out. Like, I got time to waste for this sucker to fall out. All right, all right. Almost there. Almost there. Almost reached the finish line. This paper is annoying me too, that is stuck to me. All right, and oh my, okay, this is causing me agita. Third time's a charm? I don't know. Okay, it's there. Okay, it's there. I see it. It's there. I'm putting the whole thing in there and I'm squishing it down. Okay. Okay, and she's there. She's there. Okay, so let's do it again. So what I was saying is you put this one in, right? Goes around, and you put the other one in there. You could just, I think if you, okay. So let's see here. Let's clear, and let's see how much more time we waste. You could probably pull this up through here, possibly. I'm not sure, but you could just do this, make a knot over here at the bottom, right? Make a knot here at the bottom, right? And then add some dangles, you know, cut it and add some dangles to that. That might be an idea, but we're gonna do the that's what I meant all along, the situation, which is this, and then we're gonna go to the back. Let's try this again. Flip it around. Woo, there we go. That's what I meant. If y'all could see my face. All right, so we got 2 done, right? So the third one is here. Let's get her done. And then I'm also going to show you what you are supposed to be doing with it, right? So I'm going to do the whole this way. I don't know. I don't like the other one, the other way. I'm going to put them a little closer together. And then I'm going to do that over here. So let's see, a finger worth, about a finger's worth, yeah. Okay, and we're going to clean that up a little bit so I can see the hole. All right, and then pop the eyelet through. Oh my Jesus! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Who knows where that's from? Say I. That is ... in the comments. Okay. All right. Now I can't see on the side. There we go. Okay. So we got one in there, and we're gonna do the second one in there. And of course, if you wanted to decorate more than just the paper that's sewing adjacent, then by all means you can do that. Add some labels. Add some postage stamps that have sewing stuff on it, stamp some stuff. Okay, all right, I put these a little closer to see how much that would adjust this. Okay, so I'm gonna pop that through, and then I'm gonna pop this through over here. Okay, come on, let's go. Yeah, I got a bag of these off of Amazon. They were not that expensive at all. They were reasonable. Now, it still needs a little more, but we could have put them really close together. It's an option. You know, these you can buy, I think, in different lengths. I'm not sure what the options were, but anyway, that's be what it is. Okay, so we're like 3 minutes over, but we got the gist of the project, right? You're making a little sewing travel kit to hold needles and such. So I just got myself some extra needles because the barely art needles that I had, she bent it. So you're gonna have this, and you're gonna be able to go like this and store your needles. Lovely, lovely. And it has enough give that if you wanted to add some bulb safety pins, regular safety pins, anything that's pointy and can pierce, you can put. You just want to avoid the the fold, right? And then you go like this, you go like that, right? And we do this because that's what we meant to do from the beginning. Ow! See, you can't be lying. You get in trouble. I don't know. It still works. I'm gonna leave it like this. I think it works. You know, if I want to get cutesy, I could add a couple of thicker beads on here and just have it there, and they could be all over the place. But there we go, everybody. We have our 3 little needle holder needle books ready to go. Put it in a pocket. Put it in a. You can put it in a journal. You can make this. Put some vintage needles and stuff like that. You know, get some of those rusty things that come, you know, whatever, and put them inside there, and then put it in a journal that's about sewing. So I went 5 minutes over, but I'm gonna consider this part my closure, my closing. I hope you enjoyed, guys. I hope that, you know, this is something that's useful to you. I wanted to make one because I feel like I'm always losing these guys, so I might keep this, put them in here, and then put it with my glue. Why not? One for my desk and one for my travel bag. I don't know. What do you guys think? How many of you are going to actually do this? I would love to know in the comments below. Or tag me if you go on Instagram, DDS Studio 72. I'm probably going to post these pictures up later today at some point. And if you enjoyed our little time together, then by all means, please subscribe, like, ring-a-ling-ling the bell, so that when I do pop up with another video, because, you know, we only have a few more days of these challenges. It's the 27th, the 28th, 29th, 30th, 31, 4 more days, 4 more projects to do in 3s. And then they're supposed to be having another kind of event happening in September. They haven't released yet, so I will probably be doing that. But I also want to be doing my own stuff. I've been thrifting, I've been buying up a storm of stuff, and again, would Margaret buy that? Probably not, because out here it is crazy expensive. But I did find some really interesting stuff, so I may share that. But anyway, guys, so thank you for playing along. And hopefully you will craft and, you know, not just watch next time, or watch and then craft, because, you know, crafting is not a spectator sport. So let's get our hands dirty. And until next time, ciao, ciao. Bye.